Hello, I'm Chris. Welcome back to my reading corner. This is kind of an update from my last video. With regards to what I've read. I know the last book I finished was Sleep No More by P.D. James. I took that back to the library. I decided to take back all my books to the library, except for the ones I've already started. So I could reduce how many books I have from the library currently. I've also finished a couple of books since then. I finished both the Sin City books. I won't show them again, but I finished both of them. I enjoyed them. I also finished South of No North by Charles Bukowski. Can't wait to carry on reading some more Bukowski books. And then for Christmas time, I decided to read another Christmassy book, which was Whiteout by Ken Follett, which is based around Christmas. It's about I'm not sure what the actual work, like, I don't know if it's biochemistry or something like that, or a science lab. Well, basically a science lab that's creating like viruses and antidotes, and then some go missing. It's a bit of a thriller. It's set during Christmas. I wouldn't really say you need to read it at Christmas. I just decided to do that because it says it's in parts. So it's like Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day. So I read it for that reason, but I think I read it a couple of years ago and really enjoyed it. It was when I got off on from a charity shop in Bolton that I saw and I really fancied it. Well, it was like 3 hard books for 2. I think this was my third one. I like the white cover of it. But yeah, really enjoyed this. I think I gave it 4 stars. But I didn't remember as much as I thought I did. So it was like reading it not quite reading it for the first time, but almost. A lot of it I didn't remember anyway. So that's that. Another one I've read is another P.D. James one. Is The Mistletoe Murder. I picked this up in Bury on Saturday because I wanted to read it from a charity shop and thought, why not? I started this on my lunch, read 2 stories, and then finished the last 2 stories since coming home. So yeah, really good collection of P.D. James. Again, highly recommend it. I'd say there's like Christmassy elements, but it's not really needed to be read at Christmas. But I've read it like between Christmas and New Year sort of thing, so it felt kind of good, that timeline. That's better. So, and then I'm still on with a few I'm currently reading. James and the Giant Peach, I've decided I'm listening on audiobook. It's read by, I think he's called Julian Rhind-Tutt, who's in Green Wing, which is a series I really enjoy. I don't think I've watched it all, but I've watched quite a few episodes and I like that. So I'm listening to it that way, just to so I can finish it by the end of the year. Since we started reading Mr. Stink by David Walliams now, so that's what we're currently reading, me and Samuel. If I've not put that on my Goodreads yet, I probably will do next year once we get through to the new year. I might leave children's books off it and let me just read whatever I read with Sam. Well, I'll mention it here, but keep it separate from that. That's what I'll probably do. I'm still reading Salt Slow. I've just started there's 4 stories left. I've just started Granite. I thought I'd do some videoing before I sit down and read this with a cup of tea. Tinkers I'm still carrying on with. I'm hoping to finish Salt Slow tonight and Tinkers tomorrow. Essential Chomsky, I've decided I'm going to carry this over. I haven't read any more since last time, so this one's going to be the only thing I roll over. Well, not the only thing I roll over, but because it's part of I'm going to mark this as read on my Goodreads, but I am going to carry on with it and finish it. And then I'll update I'll give it 1 star until I finish it, and then I'll update the rating. The only reason I'm doing that is because, not for my Goodreads goal, but because it's a library book, I just want to get it off my Goodreads, where I don't mind Essential Chomsky being on there because it's a book I own. But I am enjoying that. I just need to get back to it. The bookmark I was looking for before for the last book I'm going to show. This is going to be quite a quick video because I've got quite a few videos to do. This is a second in the Kamigawa Food Detectives by Hiyashi Kashiwa, The Restaurant of Lost Recipes. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I think this is just a cosy kind of food it's only 200 pages, so that'll probably be one I read next year. I don't know if that's just a reserve thing on it. And then I'm not going to read what that's about in case you're not read the first one. And then I think I saw this book on, I think he's Johnny Keane, I'm not sure what his channel's called, The Librarianist. So yeah, I've got this to read as well. This looks quite interesting. Quite like the aesthetics of that cover. I don't really know what it's about, to be honest with you. I just saw it on Instagram and thought, oh, The Librarianist sounds interesting. So this is Bob Comet, is a retired librarian passing his solitary days surrounded by books in a mint-coloured house in Portland, Oregon. One morning on his daily walk, he encounters a confused elderly woman and returns her to the senior centre that is her home. Hoping to fill the void he's known since retiring, he begins volunteering at the centre. Here, a community of strange peers gathers around Bob, and following a happenstance brush with a painful complication from his past, the events of his life are revealed. Behind Bob Comet's straight man facade is a story of an unhappy child's runaway adventure during the last days of the Second World War, of true love won and stolen away, of the purpose and pride found in the librarian's vocation, and the pleasure of a life lived to the side of the masses. So that's The Librarianist by Patrick DeWitt. That sounds really interesting. I didn't realise it had the World War II element, which is something I'm into, like I've said before. And then this last book, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to this because this one's due back sooner because it's on reserve, but it looks very interesting. It's The Secret History of the Sackler Dynasty, Empire of Pain, or Empire of Pain, The Secret of the History of the Sackler Dynasty, as I think it's how it's supposed to be said. Patrick Radden Keefe, looks quite interesting this. Like I say, it looks like, well, it's about 500 pages, so I've got to read this by the 11th of January, so I'm not sure if I'm going to actually get to this, and if I don't, I'll take it back. Doesn't really say anything about it. It's won a prize, and it's non-fiction, which I guessed it was non-fiction. There's lots of, I don't know what they're called. Is it blurbs where the people review it? I usually look and see if anybody I know, or I don't really read the reviews. I just see the Times or Boston Globe or the TLS or things of that. But it sounds interesting anyway. I'm not really sure what it's about at all, but like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it, but if not, I've got more time with The Librarianist and the other book, so I'll probably try and get to those over this one, but we'll see, because it does look interesting, and I think it's rated quite high on Goodreads as well. And then the final one, which is the one I wanted the bookmark for, is Raymond Chandler's Marlowe. Is it Marlowe? A trilogy of crime. It's just a graphic novel. I haven't read any Raymond Chandler, so yeah, I really want to read Raymond Chandler's Marlowe, but I do have 4 of his books, but I've not read any yet, so that'd be one I'd like to get to. So yeah, I've finished quite a lot of the books I want to get to. Salt's I want to finish, Tinks I want to finish, Cruelty I don't think I want to finish, and I think I'm going to finish James and the Giant Peach just because it's on audiobook now. An audiobook, it's not usually what I do, but just because I don't have the book with me, I've decided that's how I'm listening to it. I'm just listening to it like in work at the minute, so it's not like, it's only like 3 hours, and I thought, well, I've read about 100 pages of it, so it's just like, so I just thought I'd do it like that just to finish that off as well. But like I say, adding the Cruel Sea and listening to James the Giant Peach is really only upping my challenge. It's not really like, it's not adding to my books to get to my challenge. My challenge has been hit. I've read one time, well, I've read 150 books, 151 books this year so far. So, you know, the 1, 2, 3 I'm aiming on adding. The 4 I'm adding is 155 books this year. Next year, I mean, I'm setting a goal of 200 books next year, which is kind of going to be misleading with when I show my TBR, because it's not necessarily going to all be novels. Spoiler alert. It's not all going to be novels, and it's but the 200 books is just like, I thought, well, 200 books next year is my challenge. I don't think I'm going to hit it. I'm not bothered if I don't. When I set a Goodreads goal, it's more like, I set about 70 odd, I think, the first year, and then I've just set 100 like the last few years, and then with my son setting this challenge, I was like, 200 books in a year. I thought, well, let's try and do it in a year, you know, this, and then I can get a lot of stuff off my shelf. I'm going to be rereading, but I'm not including rereads in that challenge, because to me, I've read that book. But if it's a new to me book and I haven't read the book, then I am counting it. But anyway, that's my reading update for the end of the year. I'll probably I say I make plans on here and then I don't end up sticking to it. But when I do my January TBR, which is more or less complete, I probably will add the 2 of those library books in there at least, if not 3 or 4, if I go for it. Because I feel like I've like read 100 odd page book in a day today, so I'm like, I feel like I've been focused with reading. Anyway, so I'll probably do a quick update on what I finished by the end of the year, if I did finish Tinkers and Salt Slow, and if I did carry on with the Cruel Sea. But I am planning on finishing that. Maybe not like a constant read, but certainly like one that I'm going to focus on to get done and then get back to the library. So that's that. I'm going to be filming a few videos tonight, so I've got my top 10 books, fiction and non-fiction. I probably have to write down the authors for a few of those, that spelling I don't want to spell wrong, or make sure I've got the right author. There's also a pile of books, I don't know if I can point there. That is 12 books I've picked that I want to read this year. That's going to be my next video, because that's when I've got physical books in hand, and I prefer that kind of video where I can actually show something. It's not just me and a camera. So that's going to be my next video. But yeah, I'll do a quick update with what I'm reading. I'll probably still have Cruel Sea, Noam Chomsky. But if I do carry on with Noam Chomsky, then I'm going to just try and read an article a weekend until I finish the book. Well, a chapter a weekend until I finish the book, basically. So I don't think that's too much of a challenge. And then, just quickly before I finish, to wrap this up, Cruel Sea, I think I'm on part 4. So if I could read, I don't know, maybe part 4. I've got 4 chapters, so if I just, every time I pick it up, I read a part, or maybe between books or whatever, I don't know. But I'll finish that anyway. So anyway, that's been a quick update. Hope you're doing well and reading good things. I'll be back with probably 3 videos tonight if I can get them all done. And then, like I say, I'll probably drop my January TBR tomorrow, or maybe New Year's Day. But preferably plan tomorrow. I'll probably have a read of that Sackler Dynasty, see if I do fancy it, and if I do, then I'll bump that up to one of the new earlier books. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.